It's impossible for a blind man to cross an ocean solo. You're not just a blind man, you're a stupid blind man. Before I used to start with my blindness, I had a victim mentality. What can a blind man do? Nothing, you know. Now I think I start with my dreams. I want to be a pilot. I want to skydive, scuba dive. How can I fly if I can't see? So I think, what have I got to do different? Eyes don't work, ears work. That's another way into the brain. They say that all of us have been given 2 lives, and we begin the second one the day we realize we only have one. And before I die, I want to figure out how many things a blind person can do by just thinking differently. I became the first blind pilot in world history to vomit at supersonic speed. I always wanted to be a pilot when I was a little boy growing up. Didn't know I was going to go blind. And when I got the news, I thought that was the end of my dream to be a pilot. But I spent 55 days flying from London to Sydney in Australia. Nearly died a few times in little storms and odds and ends. But the technology, having to listen to Angler Bank and Compass, and certainly one of the great loves and joys of my life was finally landing in Sydney 55 days later. First time in world history that a blind person could fly and navigate more than halfway around the world. If you could kick the backside of the person responsible for most of the stress in your life, you wouldn't sit down for a week. I used to think that to be happy, I'd have good sight, 20/20 vision. But if 20/20 vision was the secret of happiness, everyone, driving around in a nice BMW or Ferrari, they should be grinning like Cheshire cats. But a lot of them, they've got a face like a bag full of spanners. So I learned that quality of life is not so much your circumstances, but it's your attitude, your response. Those who say they can, those who say they can't, they're both right. Biggest battlefield in the world, it's not out there in Syria or Iraq, it's here, between here and here. He who is not willing to risk going beyond his limits should not complain about the mediocrity of his existence. I failed at lots of things, but I'd much rather give it a go and fail and say, well, I'll go back and find another way of doing it. And the big thing I want to leave with all of you is this. The only limits in your life are the ones that you accept yourself. Rethink your life, get out there, embrace life. It's a beautiful thing. Make the most of it, and you'll be amazed what you can do.